Hi all, good afternoon. We will wait for 5 minutes or people are joining now. We will start soon. We are just waiting for a few people to join. Okay. Thank you for your patience. We'll start soon. Please wait for 5 more minutes. A warm good afternoon to all. So now it's already 3:10, so it's better to start. So the people will be joining in between. It's okay. So and uh, simultaneously the people are actually joining with us in Facebook and YouTube Live. Right. Okay. So again, good afternoon to all. Yeah. So today I'll just share my slide. Yeah. Hopefully everybody can see my slide, I believe. Yeah. So today we are in the second day of our workshop. So yesterday we started it, and today is the second day of workshop. And even though like we have got around 500 applications, few people actually, I mean, didn't join yesterday, and today we have some new people also. So yesterday, because of some other reasons or something, and they couldn't join. So for that, I thought I will give a very brief idea what we have discussed yesterday. So it will take hardly 5-10 minutes. Otherwise, they will not get the continuity what we have discussed yesterday. So that I will give a brief, just explain what we have discussed yesterday. So before that, I would like to welcome all of them to the second day of our workshop, that CWCS Gujarat. Right. So yesterday we were discussing about the very basics of environmental impact assessment, or EIA, in India. So I'll just give like some inputs, like then you can use that for like you will get the continuity today. So EIA, the governments or any government in the world, they're conducting EIA to assess the negative and positive impact of any projects, either industrial or infrastructural projects, in ecologically, environmentally, or socially, or on human health, or like all kind of aspects culturally. So EIA is being conducted to study what will be the negative and positive impact of any project by us. So then, after that particular EIA process, the permission will be given, or maybe it will get rejected. So we are talking about that process. Like yesterday we were talking like what was EIA, why we are conducting EIA, and what will be the expected outcome of EIA. So I will then just tell the global and Indian history of EIA, the evolution of EIA. So all of you know, I think most of the are like students and professors and the early career scientists here with us. So all of you know about the book Silent Spring in 96 after 1950s by Rachel Carson. So that was the beginning in the world. Like people started getting concerned about the impacts of our own activities, the anthropologic and like human activities. Even though we have started the industrial revolution and everything 200 years before, after 1950 only, the nations, policymakers, even the people started thinking about the negative impact, possible negative impact. So in 1969, the first policy came in the world by United States of America. So that law is called NEPA. So that was the formal legal EIA in the world, the first EIA or first legal background of EIA in the world. So after 70s, in the beginning, the developed countries started adopting the same strategy what USA was following. Then from developed country to developing countries, the same strategy they have started following. So now, even by 90s and 95 itself, more than 100 countries started following EIA for the all kind of industrial and infrastructure developments. So they have categorized it. They started studying the impacts, and based on that, they have like started taking action like while giving the permission, whether we have to implement the project or not based on the impact, right? So then, if you discuss about India, USA started their law by 1969, but we have started the proper legal EIA by 94 only, after almost 20-25 years only. But in 70s itself, we have we have like a few steps to start like towards EIA. It was not exactly EIA. In 70s, it was the beginning in India. Like I just want to tell you how EIA started in India. Okay, so after that we will move to today's second part of our workshop. So in 70s, it was like the Planning Commission of India asked DST, Department of Science and Technology, to conduct a study on a river valley project. So that was the technically like the first assessment study in India. So that time we didn't have even Forest Ministry, like Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So DST was managing everything. So they have done that study. Then in 80s, after the Bhopal gas tragedy, in 86, we got an Environment Protection Act. So that made the EIA into a reality. The rules and sections in the Environmental Protection Act in 1986 made EIA to the reality. Even after 1986, it took 8 years in India to start proper legal EIA. So in India, the EIA, first EIA notification, government notification came in 94. So we have only 20 years experience. Like we have started just 20, I mean, sorry, around like 30 years before only. Right. So then after 94, so many amendments came to that 94 like EIA notification. Amendments means like the changes, additions came to the 94 EIA notification. So throughout the year, so currently we are using the 2006 notified EIA protocol. So from 94 to 2006, there were like so many changes. Every year, the government was adding the changes. You know, the MOF and CC, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, they are the authority to decide and to design the EIA strategy, protocol, and the they are the authority to conduct EIA, to take the final decision. Like every EIA is being conducted under the guidance of MOF. So in 96, the MOF and CC came up with the notification of EIA. Then 97, again MOF added like a public consultancy as mandatory. Then you know, all known like 2002, we got the Biodiversity Act. Based on that, 2003, again we have added a few more amendments. I will discuss that what we have added and everything. Then finally, there were like so many like changes required, like a criticism and all was there on this 94 notification. So that everything was like the government tried to rectify, and they came up with another notification in 2006. So still we are following the 2006 EIA notification, the EIA rules and regulation, whatever mentioned in 2000 notification. All the EIA studies are being conducted based on 2006 notification now. And in 2020, the government came up with another notification, a draft notification. It is not in the Gazetted Act. It's a draft notification came in 2020. So in 2020, draft have a very drastic, very significant changes compared to 2006. Right. Okay, so these are the things yesterday I discussed, and yeah, few more details yesterday. Then we discussed how an authority, like how authority conduct EIA. So we have discussed what is an EIA, why we are conducting EIA, the history of EIA, evolution of EIA in global and Indian perspective. But then how to conduct an EIA. So there are major steps, screening, scoping, and public consultation So they are the major steps and review. So screening is like, while discussing the coming slides, the new people will be more clear, because I am repeating few things in like a coming slides also. So screening means to decide whether EIA is required or not. So based on the like estimated impact, or the extent of the area, or based on different variables, or based on the MOFCC's protocol and other laws, 1972 IWPA and 86 Environmental Act and Water Act and Air Act and Biodiversity Act. By considering all of that act related to this and the 2006 notification, the latest notification, whichever it may be. So in screening, the expert committee will decide whether EIA is required or not. So that is the first stage. Then once it is decided EIA is required, then the committee will go to the next, like called scoping. So in scoping, what actually the expert committee will do, the committee will plan the study. That is the designing, like and the implementation, what the data collection and everything, and how to do the and how we will select experts and everything. So that is the scoping process. So after the scoping process, there will be a public consultancy, like all the stakeholders who are actually directly connected to this project, or can have the negative impacts on them, or all of them will be consulted, and like they can actually express their views, their grievance, and their suggestions, recommendations, and everything. Then there will be a review on the EIA report or the environmental management plan made after the EIA process. So the review will be there. So after this four process only, the final decision will come from the policymakers, whether we have to forward this project, or whether we have to start the project, or whether we have to stop it. Like, so the decision will come based on the EIA. So these are the things yesterday we were discussing, right? So today I wanted to discuss with you like little bit more deeply the different notifications, different rules, and what is the difference between different notification and all. So as all you know, we already discussed the first EIA notification, or EIA, we have started in 1994. So before that, we didn't have any kind of EIA, even though there were evaluation process and like few studies, we didn't have proper legal notified EIA, right? So few points yesterday I already discussed this, like still I will like just go through this like for the newcomers also. EIA means Environmental Impact Assessment. So this is a notification issued under the Environmental Protection Act 1986. So 1986 Environmental Protection Act is the base of the EIA, which currently we are using, right? Along with other laws like or IWPA and all other kind of laws related to biodiversity, environment, human health, and the social, the local communities, and everything, right? So through EIA, the policymakers can give the clearance, or they can allow or disallow the projects based on the EIA. So there are like a proper protocol and everything already, MOF and CC or Government of India like prepared for this. So now we are talking about only the EIA in India. Yesterday we were talking about the global thing and all, right? Then the date of notification was January 27th, 1994. And our first EIA notification's objective was to ensure the environmental consequences, how we can reduce that environmental consequences. So like should have an idea about the consequences before granting a permission to new developmental projects. Developmental projects in the sense both infrastructure and industrial, like roads, mining, a nuclear plant, cement factories, hydroelectric projects, thermal projects, mining, uh, or everything, all the major activities by humans for as industry or infrastructure will come under this EIA. So 94, the first notification itself, the projects were categorized and based on the extent and the possible impact and all. And the public hearing made mandatory. Actually, it made mandatory after public hearing was there in the first EIA protocol itself, but it made mandatory after 1 or 2 years. Then it's a procedure for obtaining clearances. So all the project proposals belongs to the categories enlisted in the MOEFs, the published MOEFs notification. All of that project should go through this EIA process. That is mandatory. In that, the screening, scoping, and public consultancy, everything was made like a mandate thing. So this notification is considered as the foundation for environment governance in India. So in India, as you know, like after 1970s, we came up with a lot of so many rules and amendments and all to protect, starting from our natural ecosystem and the human well-being and the cultural well-being and everything, all aspects of human life and the natural environment, for protecting both of that, or for a sustainable way of development. The government came up with so many rules and regulations. So this 94 notification was one of the important notification towards the sustainable development. Yeah, and of course, through the notification and all the awareness to the people. Before starting any project, there should be a study and people should be aware about the negative impact. But whereas the 94 notification got so many criticism in their delay in giving clearance and inefficiency of processing clearance, and even studying or doing the EIA process, and lack of transparency and limited public participation. So there were limitations because this was the first published EIA notification. So there were limited, there were kind of clarity, lack of clarity and everything. So that was about a 94 notification. Then again, the 94 notification came based on the 1986 Environment Protection Act. So in 94 notification itself, the EIA study and report submission made compulsory. Based on that only, all the projects were getting the permission to start their project. And the 94 notification made mandatory that there should be a multidisciplinary expert team for EIA. Because in EIA, there are so many aspects: ecological aspect, environmental aspect, social, cultural, different aspects. So to address that, there should be a multiple team to study the possible impact, negative and positive, for that particular project. So all the EIS, even the 94 objectives of the EIA was to predict the environmental impact in advance and to collect baseline data collection, all types of data I already told. And based on the prediction and based on the baseline data, the government wanted to manage and mitigate the estimated impact, or to give an alternative option for the project. And the government wanted to consider the role of the public also. The public participation made mandatory in the along with the notification itself, right? Then, yeah, 97 only the public hearing became mandatory, even though in EIA process, public hearing was there in from the 94 itself, but after 3 years only it made the public hearing made mandatory, right? It was adding, like the changes were happening throughout the year, I mean, throughout the different years up to 2006, right? So after that, the Indian government came up with the Biodiversity Act, right? So then again, the Biodiversity Act got notified and it became gazetted. So it came in power. So the Biodiversity Act also started affecting the EIA, because EIA is being conducted based on every laws, all the rules, every law and every uh, laws in the state. So based on that, in August 2003, based on Biodiversity Act 2002, again some amendments came in the EIA. So it was like, if a project is coming in a highly polluted area or in a radius of 15 kilometers from protected area, EIA is mandatory. Like the listed, the MOEF already listed the types of projects, and some of the projects are excluded. But even though they are excluded generally, if they are actually coming up in near a protected area or in an already polluted area, EIA is mandatory, right? So that was the changes happened to 94. The small amendments happened up to 2003. So in 2006, the entire process changed and a new notification came. So in 2006, the EIA notification 2006 replaced EIA notification 94, right? So after 2006 and till now, we are following the 2006 notification on. So the major change in 2006 EIA notification is a decentralization of power from central government to state governments. Before it was under MOEF and CC only. All the projects report will go to MOEF. All the study reports, everything will go to MOEF. It was directly controlled and managed by MOEF. But after that, in 2006 notification, the projects, the government categorized it into A and B. So all the A categorized projects will go to central government, and all B categorized projects will go to state government. Means the the central government will constitute the expert committee, conduct the study, and the report from the proposed person should go to central government, and again the expert committee of central government will decide. But for the B category, state will do everything under the guidance of central government, like particularly MOEF and CC. And the categorization B, again, it is categorized as B1 and B2. So for B1, EIA is mandatory, and for B2, EIA, the B2, actually the B2 projects are exempted from EIA. So technically there are like three categories: A category, and two categories in B1 and B2. And A categories are being managed by the central government, and B1 and B2 are being managed by the state government. And A is required, if all projects under A category required EIA, mandatory EIA, and the B1 also required EIA. B2 are being exempted from the EIA, right? So yeah, then there are authorities in central and in the state level. So the state level authorities, state level environment impact authority, or SEIAA. So they will decide, and they will come up with the like a decision, and they will inform the MOEF and CC for B categorized, I mean category B project. And there is another one more law. If there is no SEIAA, state level expert committee, the category B project will be considered as category B. Sometime in some state there will not be, because of some technical or logistic issues, there will not be an expert committee. That means the category will go to the category A, and the committee of central government will take over the decision making in that project, right? Then another one more important point is this SEIAA, the committee at state level, is being constituted by the MOEF NCC only under the guidance of MOEF NCC, like for the state and the union territories. So the union territories also send their list of experts and the details to MOEF NCC. So MOEF NCC directly ensure the activities in union territory. Right. Then in EIA notification 2006 also, the screening, scoping, public consultation, and the review of the report is mandatory. Then this we already discussed, like the projects are categorized into A and B. B is again divided into B1 and B2. And the environmental clearance, the category A project required mandatory environmental clearance or EC from the central government. And category B projects are divided further divided into two, B1 and B2, and like a state level environmental impact assessment authority will give the clearance. And for category A, screening is not required. Why? Because screening is to decide whether EIA is required or not. But it is already EIA is mandatory for category A. All the projects belongs to category A required mandatorily the EIA. So the first step will not be there in that, like directly the committee can go for scoping. So it's already decided like by the government. And category A, the terms of reference for like issued by the EAC, Expert Appraisal Committee of MOEF or the central government to conduct the EIA study. So for category B, the terms of reference will be or is being issued by SEIAA, the state level expert committee again, right? So so that will be the basic document to conduct the EIA for that particular project, and the environmental management plan will be submitted to the EAC or SEIAA for the decision making. Then public consultation is mandatory for A and B1 projects. And are like some of the projects doesn't require EIA or public hearings. So there's a list that I will show you. Otherwise, all are like mandatory. So this EIA report is being prepared or will be prepared based on the TOR, based on the terms of reference of the state level or the central government level, like central level TOR. The EIA report will be prepared and will be submitted by the agency or by the committee. Then the appraisal or the review will be done by the EAC or SEIAA. So, I mean, I'm using this terms EAC and all. I think you are able to follow. EAC means the National Level Expert Committee. SEIAA means the State Level Expert Committee. So, depending on category A or B, the appraisal or review will be done by either National Level Committee or State Level Committee. So, if they are satisfied with the report, the project will get moved forward to for clearance. Then the competent authority, already I told MOEF-CC for category A and SEIA for category B, decides on granting or rejecting environmental clearance for that. Of course, after that, there are platforms to challenge that, like a court and other things, Green Tribunal and everything. I will come into that. But the basic clearance will be given by MOEF-CC for a category project, and the SEIA will give for clearance for category B project. Then now I'm discussing about 2006, the steps and all 2020, and it is actually will be different. So that I will tell you the difference actually. Then the post clearance monitoring. It's a compliance monitoring. The whoever is actually implementing the project, they should submit a compliance report once in a year, like twice in a year to the competent authority, MOUCC or SEIA. So that also will be reviewed, and the decisions and changes will be taken based on that also, right? So that is all about the EIA notification 2006, the major steps and the major roles and major changes and major steps and the categories, how they have categorized and everything. Then like more details I will tell you after explaining EIA notification 2020. Sorry, I forgot to write draft. This notification is a draft. EIA notification 2020 is a draft prepared by Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, India. In 2020, first month of 2020, they have made it public to get the comments and suggestions from the different stakeholders. So it's like a very, large level changes government have made in this 2020 draft. So once EIA notification 2020 is completely approved, means after that, this EIA notification 2020 will replace EIA notification 2006. So the EIA notification 2006 first replies 1994 notification. Now, once this EIA notification 2020 is final, then that will replace EIA notification 2006. Then after that, this all EIA studies should follow the notification of 2020. So now we will discuss about EIA 2020 draft. PFCC proposed this, so that is still under process. So it aims to replace the EIA notification 2006, and again for the same objective for environmental clearance for development projects. Then these are the 3 points. We will come into details. The major 3 significant changes, the 2020, the year according to EIA notification 2020 draft, clearance will be given already started projects. They can start the project without EIA. Then after that, the study will come and they can decide. The details will be discussed after a few slides. Then the public consultation process reduced from 30 to 20 days. So it was like a notification will go in about that particular project in newspaper and all other media. So there will be time given for people to respond. So that time got reduced. And the project categorization from A to B, B to B1, that also the notification 2020 changed. So many A categories projected now came into B and B1. So these are the changes made in 2020. This post-facto clearance are being, will be given once the 2020 notification comes in power. Then public consultation process, the time also reduced for responding. Then the categories A to B and B to B1, that all got shuffled. Right. Yeah, another few salient features of 2020 EIA notification. Many projects are exempted. Government exempted many projects from public consultation. Public consultation required, like highway expansion doesn't require public consultation according to this 2020 EIA notification. Then compliance report. Compliance report means all the person or the firm who is actually implementing the project, they should submit a compliance report every 6 months according to 2006 notification for review. So the authority will check whether the EMP, environmental management plan, is being addressed properly or that is implemented properly, like that. So that now they can submit once in 1 year. So now it is being done like twice in 1 year. It will become once in 1 year. So in different categories, that will be difficult to review the process because it's a long time, 1 year for certain projects. Then another thing, strategic projects will be exempted from the public scrutiny and or according to, or will be exempted from the EIA, like according to the new notified EIA thing. Then like the positive side of EIA 2020 is being like it's discussed as it will facilitate or quicker project clearances for development. It will not take much time. It will like ease the implementation of developmental project. Like then again, the environmental clearance procedures will shorten the time and reduce delays. Again, in 2020, the same steps are same only, like compared to 2006 protocol, 2006 notification, like different categories like A, B again divided into B1 and B2. Only the projects under A, few projects under A actually shifted to B1 and B2. And the B2 projects will be exempted from the public consultation and detailed EIA studies. That already it was like the general concept was same only in 2006, but the number of projects are will be changed according to the 2002 notification. And scoping also will be same. And public consultation again steps are same only, like but the time and all got reduced from 30 days to 20 days. And for certain projects, the public hearing requirements also will be exempted. So there are like drastic changes from 2006 to 2020. The steps are same, but it made it kind of diluted few things. So we will compare it, what exact differences are there from 2006 to 2020. Right. Then again, report preparation and everything like same only, that based on the the terms of reference by a central or state government, the report will be submitted. Like same, the expert appraisal committee, EAC or SEIA, will review the report and they will like decide whether to grant permission or not. And for B2 categories, detailed appraisal or it's not actually necessary. Right. Then the decision will come as same as 2006, clearance based on the appraisal and based on the EIA report and everything. Yes. And post clearance also like remains more stringent monitoring provisions. It's like more options are there to give the projects like they can propose for a post clearance like permission also. Right. Then these are the criticism we already like discussed, like the projects can get permission before without EIA they can actually start. Then the public participation, like a kind of dilution. The many projects doesn't require public involvement in decision making. Then kind of this is the general concept, like the prioritization is being changed, like from the environmental protection and industries and infrastructure developments. That sustainable developments are being kind of diluted, but still that the EIA draft is in the discussion. The final version is not out. Then currently there are so many cases are happening. Legal people are challenging legally, and in national international level people are responding to this particular thing. It's a positive and negative. So some are telling like there will be more negative impact, and some some of the people are like actually their idea is like it will help the developmental activities. So anyway, it's like in the debate, and it's actually like still we haven't finalized the draft, and we like haven't published it yet. Still we are following the 2006 notification. So EIA 2020 will reform the complete environmental clearance process once it comes into the implementation thing. Then there are concerns from different organizations and people and all. from different stakeholders about the environmental protection and human safety also. So this is a like a flow chart, like how to apply for a EIA clearance. So we have discussed about 2006 and 2020 like EIA, the difference between both years, the notification, how it changes and all. But according to now the 2006 notification, like the person should apply through Parivesh, and the ministry will categorize into A or B. Then it will go to the expert appraisal committee. It will go to SEA or maybe SEAC or in the state level agency. So then they will conduct the data collection based on the experts and everything. So then based on that, they will review the final report. Then they will, the final step will be grant or reject the proposal. So the ministry, MOF will decide for the A category project, and for the B1, the state level committee will decide, SCIA will decide, right? So this is a flowchart what we have discussed now, the process, what will actually like the all the projects should go through this different categories, right? Okay, so I just want to tell, I want to show you like a difference, one major difference between EIA notification 2020 and 2006. So in this, if you see the second point, offshore and onshore oil and gas, including CBM and shale gas. So in the left one is 2000 like a 6, and the right one is actually 2000 like 20, right? So in the offshore and onshore like projects actually moved from A category to the B1 category. Like the offshore and onshore like projects like it doesn't require any kind of EIS. So that was one of the major like changes. Then again, like in case of hydroelectric projects, the area changed. Like it was like a so it was like before it was like the area like changed drastically from the area. One second. So you can see the changes like the major change is like all the offshore and onshore projects actually moved from A category to the B1 category. So that means like there will not be any EIA for that project. Right. Then we will come back to this. So in EIA 2020, so the first one is actually A, and the second column is B, and third one is B1. So more than 75 megawatt hydroelectric project will go to A, and in between 75 and 25 will go to B category. So the central government will do the EIA process for the first A category, like more than 75. In between 25 to 75, the state government will go. So below 25 will be under B1. Doesn't require any environmental clearance like EIA. So if you know, in Himalayas and all, like you can see so many hydroelectric projects in 10 megawatt and 15 megawatt and 20 megawatt. There are hundreds of 10, 20 megawatt hydroelectric projects. So that actually have changed. Then again, irrigation, more than 50,000 hectares, like if getting submerged, then that will be considered for as in the A category. And like below 10,000 and between 2,000 and 10,000 hectares will be under B1. So that is also exempted. So that actually a drastic change in the notification 2020, right? Yeah. So this is again the category, the notification 2020. You can see like the even the minerals, everything like shifted to the P1 category, and right. Yeah. And another one more important changes is the infrastructure development within 100 kilometer from the border will be exempted from the EIA. So because it's a strategic decision. So there are like that much exemption in 2020 notification compared to 2006. Right. Now we will just discuss what are the key differences between 2026 and 2020. First one is the public consultation. It reduced from 30 days to 20 days. 2006, it was 30 days, and in 2020, I mean, the 2020 notification, it got reduced to 20 days. Then, according to 2006 notification, the compliance report should be submitted in each 6 months or twice in 1 year. In 2020, it will be like in once in 1 year. Then again, public involvement reduced in 2020. Like so many projects doesn't require any kind of like a public involvement. Then 2006 were like limited exemptions even for strategic and small projects. Like then now the government want to put mini projects under the strategic as strategic project, and that all project will get exempted from the EIA. For example, the broader like some highway expansions and all like in EIA 2020, they are not asking for any kind of EIA. Then the categorization again, they have the government want to shuffle and change, and that will make actually greater exemptions. Right. Then this last point already we have discussed the clearances like before the like the companies can start the projects in the before the completion of EIA itself. Then someone yesterday asked me like if what will happen if someone violate the EIA law, like if like they will go to EIA and they will get the environmental management plan. So they are supposed to implement that whatever changes and everything. What if they violate it? So each 6 months they have to submit the report. So then the committee for the A category, the central committee or the national committee, the state committee for B category, they will go through the report. Then they will check the each point based on the different rules, like starting from the 2006 notification and the 1986 like Environment Protection Act, then IWPA Act, then Biodiversity Act, Water Act and Air Act, all whatever acts are directly connected to the EIA. Based on that, the committee will go through that. So if there is some violation, there are like a particular like action will be taken based on that laws and rules. So the government, the central or state government, have the authority to reject in any stage of the project. So if any company or any person is violating the environment management plan or the suggestions from the committee, government have all the authority to reject the proposal, right? So I just want to discuss some case studies. You all know like the Mumbai Coastal Road, like recently got opened up and all. So the Mumbai Coastal Road project was like a the long process according to the EIA of that particular thing. So that road, like according to 2006, it came under category A. Then what happened? The central government made a team, and they have conducted the like a study, and the coastal project team even conducted ecological study and everything. They have submitted the report and all. But the national committee was not got convinced with the report and the basic informations. Then like because they were especially in ecological way of thinking, the marine life, coastal erosion, then land reclamation, and even social impact of like a displacement of fishing communities and everything. It was a long process. Then even in the public consultation, all the stakeholders, including the fishermen communities, environmental activities, residents, they all raised their concerns about the implementation of this project. Then if the government first in the beginning didn't give the permission for implementing the Mumbai Coastal Road Project. Then it went to again the Mumbai High Court. Then Mumbai High Court gave them clearance in 2018 based on the multiple multiple what you call suggestions. So because this particular project, when they are implementing, proper review report should be submitted to the committee and the court. So it was like a long like time taken project it was. So it was in category A, and the national committee was not happy with the result, whatever they got from the EIA, both in ecological and social aspect. Then because in the review, the EAC by the national government raised concerns about the destruction of 77 hectares of mangroves and the the loss of marine diversity. At the same time, the Mumbai is very often flood happens in Mumbai. So that all kind of concerns were raised during the study and review. Then after multiple revisions, the project received conditional environmental clearance. Then again, so it was conditional, and again it challenged in High Court, and finally they got like a permission from the High Court based on like a terms and like a different changes in the project. So finally it came into existence, but went through like a so many steps of EIA and our legal to the High Court and all. So what I want to tell, like EIA can actually stop even like a big projects or grant any projects. So this was one of the case study happened in Mumbai, but finally they got the permission. But whereas there was another project in in Odisha, a postcode steel plant project in Odisha. Then it was a multi-billion, 12 billion project by a South Korean company in state of Odisha. Then the screening was there, and it categorized as a category A. Then the national government came into the scene, and they have started the work and everything. The experts started working on it. Then the SEA again, they were not happy because there was like a damage on diversity and displacement of local communities and indigenous communities and everything. So they have conducted the public consultancy and everything. So the community resistance came and issues were raised about the social aspect and everything. Then the SEA didn't allow them to implement the project. So finally what happened? Like the expert appraisal committee or EAC raised concerns about it, and they faced multiple legal challenges and all. Then finally, the Odisha project, they have stopped. So first it got the clearance, then again the ministry temporarily suspended the clearance. Then in 2017, after many years of delays and multiple legal battles, the company like stopped the project, and they actually abandoned the project. So these are the two like big projects. One project got permission from the government, another project got rejected. So that way the EIA works. So EIA can stop in any kind of project. smaller or bigger, or multi-billion or like a small projects based on the result and review, right? So these are the things. So before, yeah, now it is before discussing opening our question and answer session, I will just introduce our few programs also, because we would like you all to continue your participation in our different courses and offline and online courses. So coming September 9th, we are going to have a program on World Bryophyte Day. So there will be an expert talk by Dr. Manju C. Nair, Associate Professor, Department of Botany, University of Calicut, Kerala. And there will be another talk by Professor Jeff Duckett. He is an Emirate Professor of Botany from University of London. So this talk is completely free. So you can scan the QR and you can register for it and you can join with us. So the bryophytes is like very less explored taxa. So especially for botany students or environmental science students, all of them, whoever is having interest on plants or the biodiversity around us, can join for this World Bryophyte Day with us. So e-certificate will be provided to all whoever is attending the World Bryophyte Day program. So so you all can actually apply. And another opportunity in our department is winter internship program. So we are going to have a 45 days winter internship on different aspects of wildlife research. The internship will include different tools like GIS and remote sensing, then the statistical tools and everything we will teach. So we will be covering the areas like mammalian ecology, urban ecology, human wildlife conflict, then the alternates, butterflies, birds, wildlife health, and even ethnobotanical study, botany and everything. So students can, like a BSc students and the BSc completed students or MSc completed students and the students who are in their like their vacation can also apply. So the application is now open. So the last date will be September 20. So before that you can apply. So you can scan it, or you can you want like more details, you can email us also. We will be happy to help. So thank you. If there are any questions, I can answer it. You can comment in YouTube also, or
Hi, Nitin sir.
yeah,
Can you hear
please
me?
tell me. Yeah.
Sorry. So I was wondering when I was listening the presentations.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that, or maybe I misunderstood, because you were saying that the EIA is done by the government authorities, but at the end of this, when you were narrating the case studies, then you said, okay, the report was submitted and EIA was done by company and it was submitted to the EAC, and then it got rejected and then went to the court. So at least I'm confused.
Yeah.
So who actually doing on the ground? Is it a government sort of sponsored,
No,
or company need to do?
Yeah. It's not like all the data will be collected by the government. The data will be collected by different consultancies or different agencies only.
Okay.
Yeah, even for example, the ecological data collection or the ecological impact will be studied by like agencies or consultancies only. And in India, in most of the EIA, how it is happening, the ecological study will be done by the company. So they will actually like contact the consultancy, then they will study and they will submit it. But whatever they are submitting to the authority, the state level authority or national level authority, this this state level authority means government only, including the chief secretary will be there in the committee, and the experts, that particular subject experts also will be there in the committee. So the data will be collected by the consultancy agency only, and it will be submitted to the authority. But the authority also will visit the places and they will do the ground truthing, or they will actually cross check the data whatever they have received. It is not like a government will give directly to an agency. It is like the companies are giving like government, the companies will give that a job to some consultancy, then they will submit that thing again to the government, and government also, the government agency, the authority team also will visit uh, the area, the project, like wherever they are implementing the project.
So what I understood from what you just said, I think the company initial submission will be done by the company, and then the
Yes.
government officers, or let's say EIA expert, they will verify on ground.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Does EIA work when after the project or organization is formed, like environmental audit, or just work before the project is started for potential future impacts? So now the EIA, like the mandate is like uh, according to 2006 notification, before getting permission, there should be a EIA, and post monitoring should be done during the implementation also, and after the implementation also there should be like a proper review, and there should be the company should submit report in each 6 months to the competent authority. So if there are any violation in the environmental management plan, the final environment management plan and suggestion from the government, there will be action.
Can I ask a follow-up? Sorry.
Yes.
This environmental management plan, so you are saying that they need to submit after every 6 months.
Yeah.
So it looked like very cumbersome. I mean, think of if it's a multi expert sort of thing, and there are so many factors: socio-ecological, socio-economic, environmental, ecology, so many things.
Yeah.
So, and if like I'm just assuming if there is even a small company or small factory sort of, every 6 months is too much. I think I don't know how they are managing it, or maybe it's fully functional, or they just, I don't know how they verify after every 6 months.
Yeah. Even in 2020 notification, that government wanted to change from 6 months to 1 year, once in 1 year. But that is important for some projects, like for example mining can be done in a large scale in 6 months of time. So if government waits up to 1 year, there will be like if no one is like keeping an eye on that, there will be like sometime big negative impact also. So it depends on projects. Some project required 6 months review in 6 months.
Just want to ask, this EIA report, or let's say verification kind of thing, is it under RTI? I mean, let's say if I want to know about some factory which is in my area.
It's like other than like a strategic projects, the reports you can actually access from the MOEF and all.
And citizen can access, let's say, the report.
Not all. There are categories.
And do we have any central database, like for the whole of India, or let's say state level or central database of this EIA kind of?
We don't, like we cannot download all the EIA report from any like a database, but you can ask RTA to MOE for state governments.
I see. Thank you.
Sir, this is Dr. Sachin Tade from Maharashtra.
Yeah, thanks.
When we assess environmental impact and we provide its report to the government,
Yeah.
Do really government is serious
The RA Forest case is a legal
on that report?
Like it's like a government is supposed to be serious in all EIA projects. It's like it's a very legally protected thing. Because if after some time something like happening negatively, then all thing will go to government because government is giving clearance. So after giving clearance, so estimated impact is like extremely different than that. Every accusation will go to government only. Government will like do proper, review.
But it is seen that whenever government decide to start any project, they give approval in the cabinet. They don't even they underestimate the suggestions which are given by the assessment committee, because in Maharashtra we have seen that
the
RA
EIA
forest
committee, yes, EIA committee's decision and recommendations will work only like along with the policymakers' decision only. Like this will be the report will be a recommendation. The policymakers or the state have to implement it or decide it based on the report.
because the conservationists and the and NGOs which are working on the conservation, they have to fight on the they have to fight legal battle over the construction of the metro car shed in RA colony. We all know that example. If the that particular committee has given the the approval for the project, then how such type of the battles, or how the people they are taking objections for such
No,
constructions?
it is like if MOEF give permission or state give permission, that permission can be challenged in court.
Okay.
Hi, sir. Zara this side.
Yeah,
I want to ask, what are the best practices for conducting stakeholders engagement and public consultations? Like, as you suggest, that they put a notification in the newspaper, and if so, like, how do a layman can reach to that? Like, is there any role or of a public in that?
No, it's like according to the notification, all the stakeholders should be get informed through the different mediums. So the newspapers and like other medias are only the option for government. They will notify it, and there will be time. Now it is like a 30 days. So within 30 days, they can raise their concerns and suggestions. Yeah, I mean, that is the current practice. Government can come up with any other ideas. Like they can use more medias and other things.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, I
sure,
have just one more question.
Yeah.
So, because I remember it was not mentioned in your presentation. So, when you mentioned that most of the EIA work is done by consultancies, so do you know any like, I don't know, 1 or 2 or 3 names from India which are like very famous for the EIA? I mean, I'm looking.
Even the government firms do that. Like the autonomous firms are there. Like for example, HFRI or Wildlife Institute of India or
I see.
ISER Bhopal, IIFM. I mean, like there are so many, and even now there are private consultancy firms also. I'm not remembering the firm's name right now, but there are firms.
Is it with the IORA? IRI Ecological Solutions with the Center for Legal Policy, something sort of?
I know, but I'm not sure about like the whether they are eligible for EIA. I don't know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe next time you can put in the presentation so that at least we know a few of them.
Sure. We are actually planning to have an offline workshop also in India with multiple faculties. So we would like people can actually come over here in our campus and join us for that workshop too. So soon that will be advertised.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, what is actually Project A, Project B in EIA?
Project A and Project B, if you see the notification of 2006 or 2020, there is the categorization of projects and this like a category A and category B. Category A projects will be assessed by the central government, MOEF and CC. And the category B projects will be assessed by the state government. And in B, again, B1 and B2 are there. So the B2 will be exempted from the whole process. And the B1 will be assessed by the state government. So there are categories like more than 28, 29. Like for example, nuclear project, thermal project, mining, infrastructure, and other things. So if you even it is available in Google, if you just type that, there will be a PDF of notification. In that you can see what like the category A project, category B project, category B1 project. It's government categorized.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if there are any questions you can ask, otherwise we will conclude this. So all of them whoever participated in this session will get e-certificate. And again, I want to tell like our center is currently accepting applications for our different PG diploma programs and internships and certificate courses. And there are upcoming webinar on bryophytes on 9th of September. So yeah, all of you can go through our website and our please follow our social media. Like we have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram accounts. Yeah. So thank you so much.